can do one of two things. Well, no, we can only do one thing. We can say C, well, okay, this is what I mean by one of two things. Hang tight. We can write it one of two ways. We can say cost at 0, production is $5,000. Or you can write it as when X equals 0, cost equals $5,000. Okay. So some of you respond to this way, some of you respond to this way because you confound these sometimes and you plug cost in is 0 and X in is 5,000, which is patently not gonna be possible, right? It doesn't cost nothing to build 5,000 things. So use common sense when you plug these in. So far, so groovy? So now we're asked to find the total cost function for the month. Well, that's not bad. How many of you struggle with decoding what it's asking you to do? All right, so I'm gonna be parsing these as I go. So I first circle what I know. I know marginal cost is X plus 30, and I know my nugget, I know my fixed costs, all right? So now I'm gonna go ahead and solve this sucker. If I'm going from marginal cost to total cost, which is what it was asking us to find, total cost function, how do I do that? Yeah, integrate. So cost is gonna be the integral of X plus 30 with respect to X. Don't overthink it, peeps. So is this integral 1, 2, 3, or 4? What's my integral? Right? X to the 2 over 2, it's X to the n plus 1 over n plus 1. Right? That's integral number 1. 30 becomes 30x plus k sub c. What do I do next? How do I know that though? Yeah, but fixed cost is not always k. So you have to go through the motions, Alex, is what I'm saying. So I'm gonna set cost equal to 5,000. And I'm gonna set X equal to 0. Only then can I say K sub C equals 5,000. And the reason I have to do this every time is the only reason K sub C equals fixed costs here is because of the nature of this function. If I change the nature of this, throw in a natural log or a denominator or something like that, a power rule, this stuff does not go to 0 in that case. So it's just happenstance that K sub C has to equal fixed costs here. That is not guaranteed for all cost functions. Groovy? Does that help? Okay, awesome. So what's my full cost function, guys? C of X equals, yeah, plus $5,000. Done. How did 30 get an X on? What's the derivative of 4X? So it's the integral of 4. Good, so what's the integral of 30? 30X. And the reason is 30 is actually 30X to the 0. So what's n plus 1? Yeah. Okay. Does that help? Awesome. Any questions on this one? Yeah.
Counting out box where you have the x squared over 2.
X squared over 2. Okay, how I got from here to here?
Yes.
Okay, so look at integral number 1. Its form, isn't tight, is x to the n plus 1 over n plus 1. So my power is 1 here. What's 1 plus 1? 2. So here's your 2 over 2. Okay, and the same thing here, my power was 0, so n plus 1 is going to be 1, so I get a 1 over 1 here. Same format. Does that help? Awesome. What else?
What pages is this on?
I don't know what page it is in yours, but in the 11th edition, it's 769. These are the beginning of exercises 12.4.
Thank you.
So I'm just walking through the even problems with you guys. They look just like the odd problems that you should be able to whip through your homeworks. You wanna try another? Yeah. Okay. All right, let me get rid of this little bit that I'm gonna save the pictures because they mean something. I strongly recommend you put the pictures on your cheat sheet. When's your test, guys? Thursday, a week from today. Let's look at number 4. If the marginal cost for a product is marginal cost equals 3x plus 50, and the total cost of producing, so cost of producing 20 units is $2,000, and we're asked to find the total cost function. So we're looking for total cost. So we're given, so I'm gonna write this a slightly different way to see if this works for you guys. So given is marginal cost equals 3x plus 50. And we're asked to find total cost function. We know that the cost of producing 20 units is $2,000. Do you see how I wrote that? I just wrote English and converted it into math. The cost of 20 units is $2,000. So what's my X value in this? Yeah, so when X equals 20, cost equals what? 2,000. That's my nugget, guys. So we're gonna use that when we integrate. You ready? Yeah. So how do I set it up?
So 30 times 20 plus 50x, and then, no?
We have to integrate this first, Maria,
Okay,
before we use our nugget. The nugget comes out when we
Okay.
need to find K. So is this integral 1, 2, 3, or 4?
it's 1.
What's the integral? Plus some cost associated with, or some constant associated with cost. Now what do I do? Yeah, I'm gonna plug 20 in for X, and I'm gonna plug 2,000 in for C. 3/2 times 20 squared plus 50 times 20 plus K sub C. So Alex, that's why I said it's a good idea to get in the habit of just going through this motion, because you're not always gonna get fixed cost and it's not always gonna be K. You just have to go through the process. So now let's do this in our heads. 20 squared is 400 times 3 is 1,200 divided by 2 is Gesundheit. 600. So we have 600 here. 5 times 2 is 10, with 2 zeros is 1,000. So 600 plus 1,000 is 1,600. So now I'm gonna rewrite this. 2,000 equals 1,600 plus K sub C. What does K sub C equal, guys? 400. So what's my real cost function now? Equals 3/2 x squared plus 50x plus 400. So let me erase the noise around that so you guys can see it. What? Right here. So I just added up that, got 1,600. Now what I have left is 2,000 equals 1,600 plus K sub C. Don't worry about it, it's all good. My voice just got really high. Good times. I guess my question to you guys is, have you been overthinking these problems? Yeah. Are you gonna be okay with them now? try a slightly harder one. You're like, yeah, I knew that was coming. Can you guys read that in the back? Is it semi-legible, kind of, sort of? Okay. I don't know if focus would make it worse. Ooh, let's do number 8. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, a certain firm's marginal cost for a product is given, and its marginal revenue is given. Okay, and we are given a nugget for what? Yeah, we're given a cost nugget. So the cost of production of 10 items is $1,000. So that's like saying C of 10 equals 1,000. Or when X equals 10, C equals 1,000. So far, so good, you guys? Okay. What are we asked to find first? Optimal level of production. Here it comes. Optimal level of production translates to X that gives you max profit. Doesn't it? They're saying how many of your thing should you produce to optimize your company? Well, what optimizes your company? Making as much money as possible, right? So we're looking for the X that gives us max profit. We're looking for this X right here. This guy right here. X max profit. Production level that maximizes profit. So do you remember the little thing that I gave you guys earlier? What's the quick and easy way if you're given the derivative of cost and the derivative of revenue? I heard it. Set them equal to each other, right? Yeah. Okay, so part A, here we go. So 180 minus 2x equals 6x plus 60. Groovy. I'm gonna move the 60 over and the 2x over. So I'm gonna get 120 equals 8x. Is everyone okay with that? Now what do? Yeah, so that is 15. So that's part A done. Wow, that was fun. Talk to me, guys. I know none of you are comfortable with that. Brenda's giving me the oh hell no face.
So you took marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost?
Yep.
But shouldn't you have a subtraction in between that to get profit?
No.
What?
What did I just put on the board, you guys? So I'm gonna cover this for a second. Profit equals revenue minus cost. If I went through and take the derivative here, what have we always done to find X that gives you max profit? We set the derivative of profit equals 0, right? Because this is where marginal profit equals 0.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna bring marginal cost over.
Oh.
Do you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's all I did. That's all I did. So now, let's do part B. Find the profit function. Yeah, here's where things get hairy. I cannot build marginal profit and integrate. Why not? Because I don't have a nugget for profit. What do I have nuggets for? Cost and revenue. Revenue is always 0, 0, right? So let's start by integrating revenue. I'm gonna do these color coded. So the reason it's so important, you guys, to label your left-hand side is we're working with multiple functions here. We have a revenue function, we have a marginal revenue function, we have a cost function, we have a marginal cost function, we're gonna have a profit function, we might even get a marginal profit function out of this somewhere. That's 6 functions in one problem. Label them, or you will be sad. Groovy? So revenue is the integral of marginal revenue, which is 180 minus 2x. Which integral is this, 1, 2, 3, or 4? Yeah, still 1. So we get 180x minus x squared over 2. Nope, just x squared, I lied. Plus k sub r. So I'll give you guys a minute to figure out how I just got x squared instead of 2x squared over 2. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah, because you divided it by n plus 1 over n plus 1.
Yeah, so this becomes minus 2x to the 2 over 2. The 2's are gonna cancel, just leaving me that, right? So now I'm gonna use, whoa, I heard that. Talk to me.
Okay, how you got the x squared?
Okay, do you get how I would get this?
Yes. Oh.
It's okay, it's totally fine. Never ever be ashamed to ask me a question, guys, seriously. So now we're gonna employ my nugget. What's my nugget for revenue? 0, 0. 0 equals 180 times 0 minus 0 squared plus k sub r. What does k sub r equal? So what's my real revenue function? I'm gonna box that. And now I'm gonna do cost in red. So cost is the integral of marginal cost, which was 6x plus 60 with respect to x, which is gonna give me 3x squared plus 60x plus k sub c. I'll give you guys a second to figure that out. I hope.
How did you get 3x squared plus 60 plus kc?
Try to figure it out, just for a second. It's good for you. Give me a thumb if you're there.
It's a marginal cost, 6x plus 60.
Yeah, you're going from marginal cost to total cost. But work the math, my dear.
Oh,
What's the
yes.
integral of 6x? Talk it through. What's the integral of 6x?
6 squared over 2.
6x squared
Because
over
of the n plus 1 and, okay,
6x squared over
yeah, over 2.
over 2, and the
Yeah.
6 divided by 2 gives
Yeah,
me 3.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
So now I'm gonna use my cost nugget, almost said revenue nugget. And I'm gonna plug in 1,000 for cost, and I'm gonna plug in 10 for X. So 10 squared is 100, times 3 is 300. 60 times 10 is 600. 300 plus 600 is 900. So 1,000 equals 900 plus what? It's 100. So then my real cost function is going to be 3x squared plus 60x plus 100. I'm gonna box that. Am I done? At this point, I've forgotten what I was asked to find. What was I asked to find?
Profit function,
Profit. So what is my profit, guys?
revenue minus cost is equal to your profit.
So now I have my revenue function
Minus your cost.
minus my cost. Okay. I'm gonna collect like terms. Let's see, 180x minus 60x is 120x. I don't care what order you put these in, that's gonna be minus 4x squared minus 100. And now you see why those nuggets are so important. You don't do the nugget, you won't get the right profit function. So far, so groovy, guys. Jesus is like excited back there. Yeah. You were holding that thing like Simba. Yeah, absolutely.
So hypothetically, if the cost function was minus 3x squared instead of 3x squared,
Uh-huh.
so that would change the profit function to plus 3x squared, right? But
Absolutely.
would it change the entire thing? Would it then?
Always
minus
changes the
60x
entire thing.
Minus plus?
Think of it as looking at it like this. Profit equals all of revenue minus all of cost. So whatever the cost function is, you have to distribute that negative sign. Does that help? So no matter what, your signs are gonna change when you subtract cost. Always, 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 always. All right, so what's part C? Find profit or loss at the optimal level of production. Well, what was the optimal level of production? Yeah, that optimal level of production was x equals 15. We found that in part A. So what am I gonna do with that x equals 15? Plug it where? Into where? Profit. Because I wanted to find a profit, right? So profit at 15 is going to be 120 times 15 minus 4 times 15 squared minus 100. Should have done this one with my other class. Yeah. But they were saucy yesterday, weren't they, Brenda? Yeah. It's hard to keep that group in line. It really is.
Because it's daytime.
Daytime. Nighttime.
Where did you get kicked?
Daytime. See, you're with me there. You know what I'm talking about? Yes. Yes. Near. Far. I love Grover. Just makes me happy. That was Grover. I don't know what the daytime, nighttime one was.
I think that was just like a dub over exclamation point.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was,
The crane.
yeah, it was the crane. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. Times 15 minus 4 times 15 squared minus 100, and we get 800 as our maximum profit.
Let me see a problem like this.
Very likely.
Are you serious?
I am serious. I am dead serious. I don't hate you. I want you to be able to use calculus to do application problems because that's what your school wants me to do. Yell at your school. Go yell at business. You know, I'm just doing my job. Should production be continued for the short run? This is ticky-tacky, but yes. Are we in a good profit region here? I don't know, that's up for you to decide. Should production be continued in the long run? Why not? Yeah, it will drop eventually. We don't know where we are, guys. Oh wait, yeah we do. We know we're sitting at maximum profit. So what's gonna happen over time if we continue to build stuff past X max profit? Yeah, our profit's gonna go down. It may still stay positive, but it's gonna become smaller and smaller and smaller. So Alex had it right. In the short run, we're probably okay. We'll stay in this region, but if we keep going, we're gonna lose a lot of profit.
What if we keep improving the product?
Well, then your whole function changes, doesn't it?
So then
Yeah.
should be now.
Yeah, E should be probably not, because if you're sitting at max profit, anything after that is gonna go down, okay? How do you guys feel about this? Better?
So,
A little bit?
For B, what is the explanation for, yeah?
Short run, continue? Because when we're sitting here, if we just build, in the short run, if we just build a few more than X max profit, we're not gonna lose a lot of profit, right? If we keep going a little bit over, we'll only go down a tiny bit in profit. But if we go in the long run, we're gonna be losing a lot of profit.
So if there's a profit at all, you should always try and, in the short run, yeah, the long run, probably not.
Probably not, yeah. Yeah. And I like the way these are worded, and I'm not gonna do this to you guys. These part D and part E, I don't like the way they're worded, hang on Brenda, I see you. Because it doesn't say, should production stay at this level, which is really what it's asking you. It's asking you, should production stay at this level, and should production be extended beyond 15 units? Or 25 units, or whatever your X max profit is gonna be. So I don't like these problems, well, I don't like these questions in the problems. I like the rest of the problem, I think it's a great problem. But these, yeah, I'm not gonna do these to you guys. Okay. Questions? What? Oh, sorry, Brenda, yes, immediately.
So when you put the 15th of June, you went on the other side, put P of X equals 120. Is that what you mean by this?
This? Yeah,
How come there's no X in front of P?
in front of where? The P? Yeah, it's just the profit as a function of X. I can say P or P of X, just like I can say C or C of X. I write it out formally here versus here to indicate to myself that I've completed it. But that's just my flair. You can do whatever you want to it, but do label, very definitely label these. I just don't care what you call it. Okay? Any other questions on this one? Do you guys see how this was useful, having these pictures? At least this profit one was certainly useful for this problem, right? I highly recommend sticking those on your cheat sheets. Highly, highly. What do you get for your exam? Cheat sheet and tattoo, same cheat sheet you always got. 8.5 by 11 single-sided handwritten, anything goes. Plus your tattoo.
You want us to bring our own tattoo?
Yeah, I'll have extras in case people lost them or left them at home, but yeah, bring your own tattoo. I don't care if it's drawn on, because, you know, you're gonna have a cheat sheet with drawing all over it. So, don't worry about it. Yes,
Can you put the tattoo on the website?
on the website,
Yeah.
yeah, I can. But why?
It's supposed to have my laptop and it's easier to follow on
I see, okay, I can do that. Yeah, I'll do that. Send me a text and remind me, otherwise I'll forget. Thank you. Yeah, I'll stick it up for both classes. Let's see.